Yo, what is up, guys? I just woke up, bit of a headache, bit of a cold, but we are looking at a developer preview for September. Okay, and there's something big coming all the way at the end. I already scrolled through a little bit of it, so let's see what we have. I did make the video recently about the revenue going zoop, so let's see if they actually put a little bit more effort to that, or was it already on the shelves? So first of all, we have new content, challenge battle. Okay, challenging or challenge of Ascension and Trial of Ascension expansion and revamps. Okay, yeah. So first of all, blah blah blah, SWC, blah blah blah. We're going to revamp a bunch of stuff. Okay, on to the next. Trial of Ascension Hell revamp. So Hell revamp is the one that we normally have over yonder, over here. This one we go into this one, the Hell that most people just do until like 20 stars and then just call it a day. And actually, a whole bunch of people never cleared this in the first place. So what do we have? So on the September 14th, they will plan to lower the difficulty of the base hell modes and ease the rewards structure, quiet, and conditions reduce the gameplay burden. Okay, I guess that's fine. So let's see what they do. The base difficulty without challenging will become easier. Well, I would say that the base difficulty without the challenges, that's like, I guess they mean these for the challenges, is already relatively easy. The thing is, you have to clear it with, otherwise you don't get the rewards. So, okay. The final reward, legendary structure, will be hell will be requires 20 stars, which means 10 floors on base difficulty is not enough. Exactly. We plan to improve the reward acquisition structure, lowering the hurdle of rewards and adjusting the reward tiers so that the final reward can be acclaimed by clearing floors on the base difficulty alone. Okay, that does also mean if they still keep a style of where you can do 3, you only have to do like the first 3 floors plus 1 floor on the 1 star and then you're already done. Is that the case? What it's going to be? I'm not sure. Additionally, to make clear points. Jeez, man, I can't read. That's nothing new. The TOA rewards will change system towards a glory. Okay, so they're gonna add in a system similar to what we also see in here. So I guess you just get points, and with those points, you just buy shit what you need, which is actually pretty nice because there are definitely a few endgame players that wouldn't care as much about the Devilmon and then they skip the Devilmon, whereas like more early players, they would first focus on the Devilmon before getting anything else. So that's kind of nice. Whereas items can be purchased from the points clearing the achievement points, okay? Furthermore, these points can clear when TOA is, these points will not reset when TOA resets and will carry over to the next month. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's just, they give you a currency rather than exact rewards, and then you can just buy out the shop. What I actually personally would really like with this, if I can give some feedback on it right away, add a lot of energy to this. So not even necessarily just crystals, add energy for clearing things. Like if you want to clear the whole thing, you get a bunch more energy, and with the energy, you can play more, you can farm more. To just give rewards of saying like, okay, you don't have to, but if you want to play more, you can also clear this to play more. So just a simple way of free to play, getting a bunch more energy, getting a bunch more farming material in that way. That would be nice, because it does seem that with how it's written, that you can get the legendary scroll with clearing everything, but doesn't mean that you get the legendary scroll but nothing else if you clear it on the base, because then it's still kind of same. So we have to see the exact numbers of what they're gonna do, but we will see that on mid-September. So then we're looking at the 14th of September, or a little bit before that. They probably have that already in the patch, because 14th of September is going to be what day? That's going to be the Sunday is the reset. So probably they have to, either they do a weird patch on the Sunday or they do it a little bit earlier, but let's see how they do that. The range of selectable achievements will be expanded. Okay, so that would be nice, because for me personally, and I think everyone has that, where you have like 1 or 2 that you're always like, I hella CBA doing that shit. My biggest CBA doing that shit is Reflect 3000. Like, I cannot spend my AoE shit. I CBA, but I'll do a lower one. So that would be nice if that's the case. We will offer selecting challenges instead of preserving 2 floors, which means more options for diverse strategies. Every time I read strategy from Comtos, I just want to replace that by RNG, but let's see how far that works in this thing later on. And the opportunities to try out unique tactics, okay. You will be able to set challenges easier to take it yourself, okay. If you prefer more challenging, you can set... Probably no one's gonna do that. If you don't get rewarded for that, no one's gonna do that shit, but sure. the target affected challenged by that will be distinguished between enemies and allies. Yep, okay. For example, limit harmful effect turns will be changed to enemy only. Okay, well, sure, I guess. Well, yeah, that does make it where certain stages you actually get like a semi buff by the effect. Because, for example, or well, not even just some, like for example, you have one here. It's like if they gain increased attack bar, but you don't, then that's definitely a big nerf for you. And there's a few more of like those kind of things where it's like, oh, you also get your will runes applied and blah blah that kind of stuff. So let's see. Then we have the COA, the most shitty content in the game. And you know why I could say it's the most shitty content in the game? I was the very first person to clear this to a floor 100. And I absolutely hate this content. I just did it for the stream pretty much. But that's already more than a year ago. Let's see what they're going to change to this. Difficulty adjustment and expanding top floors. I'm really curious about this difficulty adjustment because in the end, in Europe right now, after a year, 49 people cleared it. That's how many people. And you want to add it another 40 floors? Well, I guess we streaming content, that's all there is, but that's going to be hating on PV RNG again. But they're going to be adjusting the difficulty as well. So along with the expansion, we're preparing balance adjustment for COA, demanding less adjustment for enemy stats. Okay, so they're just going to be changing enemy stats. I was so scared of them doing that already. I told them before, it is not about the stats. It's about RNG rookery. In this stage over here, I can show you very simple. You have despair, you have immune to attack by decrease. The only thing I need in this stage, for example, is I have to land a branding from either this, or I have to do it with a Thessarian, but therefore I would lose a healer, so I'd rather do it with a Kumar. If I don't land that on the whole team, so I have to land it with a skill 1 of the Kumar, and then I have to spread it with the Tomoe. If I don't do that, this stage fails. Doesn't matter what the freaking stats are on any of these units. If I don't get my RNG check, it fails. So yeah, you can lower the stats. Sure, it makes things easier, but it's going to be RNG rookery, and people don't like this RNG rookery in this whole thing, and therefore people are simply not playing it. Because the rewards in the end, like if you sum up all of the rewards, it's not that bad. It's kind of bad, but it's not that bad. Like if you go, let's say, from clearing 10 to clearing 20, you do get a fair bit of rewards, of re-apps, and blah, blah, all of that kind of stuff. So you do get a fair bit of rewards, but it's just RNG rookery. So I really hope that they make this stat adjustment pretty substantial, because a lot of the things are just, they're not difficult. They're just RNG. So let's see. Ranking criteria will be changed. Yep, current ranking will be based on the date and clearing floor of the numbers taken. So it will reflect how well executed the RNG was. Like, I think it's pretty accurate, not gonna lie. Every time you see strategy, you just replace that by RNG. That's, like, in the end, this shit was not difficult. Me clearing this the first time, I think I was one proper stage where it's like, yo, if you don't use the right RNG thing and you have to figure out the right RNG thing, then it's just like a done deal, and no matter what your RNG is, you're not gonna take it down. But there are still plenty of I think it was this one. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was this one. This one you actually had to have a proper strategy with Endure or with Invisibility, and like extending it to like Infinite and making it work that way. But yeah, let me talk to you about this stage. Man, I threw at least like 15 hours at this stage. Fuck that shit, man. They better make that thing hella easy. So, but they also want to make the normal elemental force from 30 to 40. Well, definitely I'm not going to be pre-clearing any of that. I will be clearing it after the balance nerf. So if you're planning to do COA right now, which is very rare, I would say that already, then yeah, something like that. So I'm very curious. Like, they're going to add like another 40 floors over here. They're going to add another 50 floors over here in total for all of the elements. So 90 extra floors being added. How many people cleared everything thus far already? Is there any person? So we have So Good clearing everything over here, cleared everything over here, cleared everything over here. Yep, also this one. Not bad, So Good. Not bad. So we have one person in all of Europe that cleared everything thus far. Or is this Abon guy also clearing everything? Oh, is the second guy? I think these are probably relatively more easy. Adbon also has everything cleared, so Yeah, for those 2 people, they can finally continue on. So that update for 2 people. Well, let's hope it's just made easier. I'm making fun of it, but I literally hope that this is like a fixed, fair, big adjustment, because it's just otherwise ass and people are you're just wasting your time, and like no one's gonna do this shit then. While preserving the honor of the ceremony, I will clear it the first time. Yeah, to be honest, I don't even care. Like remove the whole fucking thing. Make it freaking clearable for everyone. Like if it shows no longer is like I was the first thing, I don't care. Like legit, make it accessible and clearable for everyone. Like most people are clearing this. Like I spoke a little bit with Sean B. He's at floor 14. Well, that shows enough, right? The man doesn't even want to do it for content. Due to the criteria, Trey's ranking will be now tallied after the update. But will be separated in the Hall of Fame. Okay, sure thing. Yep, sure. Yeah, I'm in the Hall of Fame. A debate board, that definitely does help out. I'm not sure if you have the thing which you do have in... no, you have this thing in normal TOA, which I actually do think is really nice. And they should probably add that in here as well, is that you can see how people cleared it and be like, okay, let me copy that team. So then we can actually see that 18 Dark is only cleared with LD5s or like crazy RNG. But yeah, something like that would definitely be making sense. The COA revamp will be introduced during the first update of September. So first update of September might be the one on the 14th. Yeah, I think they probably added on like the 10th and then it will like lean over to the 14th. So, okay. New World Arena Challenge Battle. Challenge Battle will be conducting a fixed pool of monsters instead of your own. Okay, let's hope summoners who will lack monsters and have not farmed runes can enjoy RTA in the same environment. Sounds very interesting, but I can make a prediction. I'm gonna look in a glass bowl and I'm gonna say people are gonna like this for about 1 to 2 weeks and then be like, no, this is shit. And I didn't even read the whole thing, but hear me out on this one. I think it is an interesting idea. I think it's what a lot of people has been asking for, but I read a little bit of bits and butts over here where I'm like, not too sure if people are actually gonna enjoy it. Providing a fixed pool for the battle will aim to deliver a new World Arena strategy, RNG, elements to such understanding, building monsters, and that kind of stuff. Okay. Do you still have to rune it yourself, or is it already pre-runed? That's the big question for me, because that's not necessarily stated over here. So they provide units, but they don't necessarily say how these units are built. Like I've seen countless build units, and at some point you have this thing over here where you have this rifle battles. If you go into this, you can do this. You had an Itadori that guaranteed crits, and he was ruined with like a crit rate slot 4. So yeah, not the most confident in the 30 to 40 units that they would have to rune for you. But let's see. So the base pool is 30 to 40 units. Okay, why is it not 30 or 40? But sure. Why 30 to 40? Is that depending on the player? Is that depending on your RNG? Because then we kind of go back to this style in the first place. Okay, pick and ban. Yep. 30 to 40 will remain unchanged throughout the season. Globally to all summoners, while 12 to 16 will be assigned for the battle randomly. Whoa! We add more RNG to the RNG so you can RNG while having RNG. Yeah, no, like if... What is this? Like, to be honest, I haven't seen how it works yet. I'm saying that it's going to be bad without actually seeing how it works. But if you get 12 to 16 units randomly, and your enemy gets all the 12 to 16 units that counter your units, GG instantly. Doesn't matter what kind of understanding strategy you go for. Like, what is even this? What is even that? So the assigned units will not appear on your opponent, meaning you won't be able to interfere with your enemy's pool. That pretty much means if they pull the right units, then we're literally going back to this. We're literally going back to this. You don't have the units, so you get screwed over. I'm not sure how good this will be, man. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, because I think by first glance, a lot of people do things like, yeah, now I can play RTA and it can actually be good because I don't have units, I don't have runes, but I'm actually a smart player, and yeah, GG. So I'm not sure, man. We're carefully reviewing the season duration in order to provide monsters for the pool. Okay. If the season is too long, challenge battle might become repetitive with the same pool. True. If too short, the pool might be changing before the decks, before strategies can be established, steering confusion. We're planning to set an approach length for the gameplay flow of the introduction of challenge battle. Okay, to be honest, I'm not too sure if this is going to be anything interesting. But let's see about rewards, because why would you play something if there's no rewards? AKA 2v2. But we're getting into that point. Continues, wait. Challenge battle continues until you have a record of 3 losses. Your goal is to record as many wins as possible before you lose 3 times. Okay. There's no limit to the amount of entries. Okay. Yeah, you can play as freely as you want, sure. However, once you have 3 losses, you reset the number of wins. Will record it as your performance. If you choose to enter again, you will be reset at a 0-0 state. I kind of like that. Also, who will have the most records on each server? Wait, are we gonna do this like for a globally thing with everyone in there, or is this server orientated? Because if it's server orientated, I can assure you that within a few weeks you have no people queuing for this shit. But well, let's see. We're considering a one-time reward based on seasonal achievements. Okay, no one's gonna play this. I can already assure you, man. People are gonna play for the achievement, and then people are gonna get like sure. First week it's gonna be busy. Second week maybe a little bit. Third week, people are just there that didn't do it the first week already. They do it for the one-time achievement and maybe a bit for the streams at the start. But that is it. So you can enjoy the content without pressure. You know what other content is there without pressure? It's called 2v2. And people just play it for the achievements and get the hell out. Sure, there's going to be some people that will enjoy this. But this part already shows us like, oh yeah, we're just gonna throw like random units at RNG at you. You might not, if you have 12 to 16 units, it doesn't even mean that you have a cohesive team. It could even mean that you have a team without speed leads. It could mean that you have a team like full bruiser but no healer. Like there could be so many things wrong with 12 to 16 units. 12 to 16 units is barely anything. And especially if it's full at random out of a pool of 40, you could have the most non-cohesive team out there to just try to get your victory in. So it's an RNG on RNG kind of top moment right there. So it's, I think, nothing special, which, once again, I think they're just working towards content that doesn't make that much sense. But let's see. It's targeted for the late September update, so that's going to be the second week. So first week is going to be, update is going to be over here somewhere, probably a 10th or an 11th. Then the second week we're looking at like 24, 25-ish, which is probably close to like a balance patch and that kind of shit. So let's see how that works. That's all for the developers preview. We continue to share new content in improvements and listen carefully to your valued feedback. I'm not sure about that. If you have any questions or opinions about this update, feel free to share them at any time. Well, here you have the video. I think it's kind of ass. Developer preview was like to show more upscale content towards mid-November. Wait, are we actually getting the 9.0? We dubbed it Summoner's War tomorrow. No, Summoner's War November, but sure. And eager to be exploring the new way bring powerful changes to the game. Tomorrow with a Renuki coming in September. To be honest, TLDR of this whole thing, I would say this probably pretty chill because people are not doing that. So the Trial of Ascension, Hell, revamp, kind of chill. People are not doing this in the first place, so it's kind of fine. Ancients, the COA, more adding stuff to COA is, in my opinion, just wasting your time because you're adding more content to people that's, or to something that people are just simply not playing because it's ass. It's just an RNG for more RNG play to provide adequate sequence and RNG. Dissatisfaction and RNG. That's pretty much the main thing, man. I'm curious if this is going to be a big adjustment. I really hope that this goes like a super big adjustment, that people actually do want to play this, because it's not that crazy hard. But if that's going to be the case, I am not too sure. So yeah, COA improvements over there. And then this, by all means, this is just RNG the mode. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, let me know in the comments if you're actually hyped about this, because you know that they already did something like this in a different game. It's called Lost Centuria. I think I said enough. So yeah, that's pretty much something over there. Yeah, and then I'm pretty hyped about whatever this thing brings. But what they brought thus far in September for like, ooh, big hype, big changes, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I definitely do think they could add more. Renuki over here with tomorrow, it doesn't mean anything, can't really pick anything out of this post except for player-owned houses, except for we're moving away from our Sky Island, because normally everything we see is on a Sky Island kind of style, and now you don't see a Sky Island, which is somewhat interesting. Well, let's see if I can I open this in a new tab? Doesn't really get much bigger than this, but let's see if we can actually spot something that I'm like, there's a bunch of houses. Are we gonna have a collab with Attack on Titan and then Ranuki hits the Attack on Titan? Oh man, this looks kind of Attack on Titan shit right there. I don't know, man. Maybe it's me. Well, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Of course, let me know in the comments what you think about that. If you want to see my revenue going down video, will be first link in the description. Maybe because of that, they put a little bit more effort, and maybe because of that, they put this posted right there that they're actually planning to do something big. At least they give us a little bit of hype. It's like, yo, we're planning on doing something. We don't know what it is yet, but we're planning on doing something, and that personally makes me very happy. So they're actually showing us like, yay, we're working towards something, because they haven't done that for a very long time. But then again, they also do have to deliver after. So let's see in November, which will be probably right after the, did they say mid-November? Mid-November. So we have SWC sitting at the 1st of November. So that is probably a week of hype and then a week of patch. I kind of predict something like that. But let's see, November might be a very good month. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. See you as always in the next one.